All right, guys, welcome to the podcast Life It's Better with a Bow, powered by Protect. We're out here in South Dakota, the Black Hills, quite possibly my favorite location.
It is for me as far as tax go.
It's unreal. And we're sitting here with John Barklow of Sitka. And I've been trying to get him tied down for a podcast for a while now. So I'm super stoked. So thank you for taking the time out. I know you're here and you got a busy evening. And so I'm happy you snuck over here a little bit early so that we could pound this out.
Yeah, I'm glad we could finally line this up.
So how long have you been at Sitka?
I'm coming up on 10 years, if you can believe that.
10 years,
I can't believe
that's
it.
Fantastic.
But yeah, it's amazing.
And at Sitka, your job, what is your title?
Yeah, so it's kind of evolved over the 10 years. And so I was originally started as the big game product manager, right? So what does that mean? That means that I got to run the big game side of the business, work with all the designers, developers, and like ambassadors, and take all the crazy ideas and turn them into product. Mm-hmm. And that's changed over time. And so then I became the senior product manager, so kind of running all the different categories, managing them with the guys I worked with. And all those guys have moved on, and I am Sitka Hunt right now, and have been for awesome. Over a year.
So, dude, so let me make sure I understand this correctly. So I know you work with a lot of guys because you guys had a rain jacket that I think Cole was pretty involved in on that Kodiak jacket.
Yes.
But you're the man that's like, this is the product we need to develop. Is that you?
I'm not always, it's not always my idea. So here's how the best way I can describe my job as a product manager. And other product managers may not appreciate this, but I feel like I'm a giant filter in a sewer pipe.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah. And I got to stop the bad stuff and let all the good stuff through. And so some of the good stuff's mine, some of the good stuff's other guys and gals that are internal, and some are like ambassadors. It could be from you. And I like to say I'm always open to any idea because you never know where the next best idea is going to come
absolutely.
From. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, so yeah, we try to have no ego there, but ultimately it can't be an idea we can't commercialize, bring to market, sell more. Right. That's what I tell Cole, right? Like to bust on him. It's like, dude, I can't just make you that because I'll make it for you for free. And I've made him a bunch of crazy stuff over the years, like Gore-Tex shorts. But I got to be able to sell them too, right? Like this is a business.
Well, so the only reason I brought up the only reason I brought up the Kodiak jacket is that is one of my favorite pieces of equipment that's ever come out of Sitka. And I know you guys don't have it anymore, but I like Cole. I guided in Alaska for years. I still make a trip to Alaska every year to hunt with my boys or friends, which I hope to do with you someday. I think we should make that a goal and make it a reality because I don't think it's terribly difficult to do that. But that piece of equipment is money. I love that thing.
I appreciate that. But you know what? It was unique, and it solved a problem for a lot of people. Not just the guides and outfitters that live up in that northern country, but for folks that are going up there like yourself to go hunt in that country, right? But you know what, Sean? Maybe this was just meant to be. I'm going to announce right here for the first time ever that
I'm ready.
We are bringing the Kodiak jacket back for 1 year.
Oh, my. You just made my day.
Because
this podcast's over, we're out. No.
I need more time to make Gen 2 of the Kodiak jacket. So it's going to be back in the line as a staple piece.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can only, obviously we got a lot of guide and outfitter friends. I lived in Alaska. You spent a lot of time up there. It's like people that get it.
Can I just say
it's just a unique piece that's needed.
It's a unique piece, but here's the thing. We have been doing an event down in Texas for years, and there's two guys down there. One that did all the landscaping. He has worked for that company, the venue down there, for 55 years. He's mowing lawns, doing all this. And the other guy runs the ranch side of it. Well, multiple times that we've been there, I'm watching these guys out in the rain trying to get things ready for our event. I mean, he's mowing grass in the rain, right, to make it look good. And the guy who's out, he has to move cattle from one pasture into another so that we can use that pasture. And I got them the Kodiak jacket.
Oh, really?
And
down in Texas.
Down in Texas, because when they get rain, they get rain.
Yeah, like biblical.
But my point is neither one of them are doing what Cole does or what I do or even what you do, and it worked out perfect. They love that jacket, and he's sitting on a lawnmower.
Yeah, wow.
So I'm just saying,
I definitely
like, there
had
are
lots of wranglers and guides that ride horses. Although that wasn't really the intent of the design, but it works, right?
It works great.
So we need to talk. You need to text me because I'll probably forget this conversation after
I'll send you a link, then you'll be able to listen to it.
But you will have Kodiak jackets when you go back up to Alaska this year.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's an awesome piece.
Yeah.
But
that's cool for you to say.
One of the cool things, I've been with Sitka forever, it seems like, and I'm talking way back in the day, prior to Total Archery Challenge.
Yeah.
They sponsored, I don't know if you'd call it that, but I was wearing their gear early on. Myself and Anthony Dixon did their first video. I edited the video.
No way.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. That's a piece of history I didn't know.
And so, but here's how they paid me. This was right out of the gate, right?
Yeah, like what, 2015, maybe 16
or earlier.
Yeah, could have been.
I think it's earlier even because no, it's way earlier because we started TAC in 2012 and it was before Total Archery Challenge. I'm talking the first
OG.
Yeah, Mothwing.
Oh yeah. I still have some of that.
So they paid me in Mothwing. Monica still has the mountain jacket and mountain pant for women in Mothwing.
No kidding.
That's how old it is.
Yeah.
And anyway, my point is Sitka has been a really fun company and partner to watch evolve in the sense of how they changed the market or how they changed the style of clothing, which the mountaineering industry did it forever, right?
Right.
I mean, they've been doing layering style systems, and so that's what you saw a lot of these guides in Alaska doing. That's what I did. But it's been really fun, and then to see the different pieces that come out, which is kind of fun. That's what I want you to dive into just a little bit. You don't have to give away any trade secrets, but you guys come out with some gear that people didn't know they needed.
Yeah.
And then when you get it, you're like, dude, this is a cool piece of gear. So tell us a story. I mean, that's got to be a blast because you're going through 1,000 different ideas, right, to figure out
like I said,
what it is.
Kind of a giant filter, right? So I think part of that is the founders, right? So Jonathan and Jason were the original founders, and then Jonathan, after that acquisition from Gore, he comes over to Sitka, and so Jonathan and I are friends. Jonathan, was critical in hiring me. And they kind of took a chance, right? Because I didn't have the traditional business background, but they're like, he's got some connections within the industry, and that all came from the military, and he's a hunter clearly, and he's at least open to hearing other people's ideas. So it's the culture that he brought, and so Jonathan liked to famously say that if you ask a cowboy what he wants, he's going to tell you a faster horse because he can't even conceptualize what a car is, right? And so really what I was kind of like what we were all tasked to do is like find problems hunters have that they don't even know they have, right? Find the white spots. Like, you need to listen to them, and because obviously they're going to be the ones I like to say vote with their dollars, but like they might not even know they have a problem, and so that's kind of what they rely on us for. So, the Kodiak jacket would be one. And I'll just give you a little anecdote. I told you about the Gore-Tex shorts we made for Cole, right? So Cole's like, hey, I need this longer rain jacket to do this thing because we wear these hip boots. And so, I intuitively knew. I'd been there. I'd done that. And so every time we made him a jacket, he's like, longer. And so I'm like, geez, oh man, like, this thing's going to be dragging on the ground. He's like, yeah, that's what I need. And I said, okay, let's just take a step back for a second. And maybe let's go back to the problem we're trying to solve. And maybe making the jacket longer isn't the solution. But maybe taking care of that top of the hip boot to the top of your waist, maybe that's the problem. So let me make you a pair of Gore-Tex shorts. So I literally had our designer like take a pair of Gore-Tex pants, Stormfront pants, chop them. And he goes, this is the dumbest thing ever. And I was like, you're right, it could be. But it might also be the most brilliant idea ever.
And the shorts go over the hip boot.
They went over the hip boot. And all of a sudden, I didn't need to make the jacket as long. Now, mind you, talk about an idea that wasn't commercial, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
But that's kind of what they wanted us to do, and they still want
Right.
us to do. It's like, figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
So that's just the cool part of my job is talking to a lot of people, like walking around here, right? You can just learn so much about the industry and the consumer just by just observing, and like what you guys have done with TAC. Like, what did you so you gave me a data point the other day where you said, think this event, or was it Big Sky? You're like, man, so many countries and states and new people were coming into Total
It was
Arctic
Big Sky,
Challenge.
yeah. Big Sky, 48 states represented in 5 countries. That includes the U.S.
That's crazy, right?
Insane, because that's
It
not
is.
a big event.
No.
And we have that type of representation. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, no, you're right. And I mean, I think all companies probably evolve as they listen to the people that are using the product, if you will, because we've evolved. I mean, you've been around since the first one.
Yeah.
You've seen the evolution
Absolutely,
of what we do and how things function and that. But as I watch, I mean, for you guys, when you release a piece of gear, how far in advance have you put that together and had it developed?
Yeah, I would say at a bare minimum, we're probably looking at 2.5 years from ideation to commercialization, like when you can buy it. It's been 4 or 5 years. So we have a pant coming out next year that, I mean, we kind of had it dialed, but we've been working on, by the time it comes to market, it'll be 5 years. And when you see it, you're like, man, I mean, it's innovative, it's cool, but it's figuring it out, all the back end stuff, testing it, making sure it works, and then trying to find the right time in the market to like launch it.
Yeah.
Because some ideas, believe it or not, like maybe they're ahead of their time. And I think Sitka back in the day had ideas, and maybe the Kodiak jacket's one of them, whereas maybe a little bit ahead of its time. Yeah. And if we'd have waited a year or two, right? Because you can say, you blame it on marketing. We need to talk about it more. It's like, yeah, maybe. But maybe everybody wasn't ready for it. And so, like, more people coming into archery, right? More people wanting to expand their horizons.
Yeah.
Come from east, come west.
Yeah.
From west, go north, right? And so maybe it's the opportunity. But, yeah, it's a long time. It's honestly, we would like to shorten it. But when you're building stuff, I mean, sometimes it may take 6 months, 8 months just to build the product, right? So you have to factor all that into this.
Right. How many, it probably varies per product, but if you came out, you were like, this is what we need. Yeah. Pick a product, whatever one you want. This is what we need. How many times do you've got the design, you did it, you've got your first sample, and you go through a new evolution. You're like, nope, we got to change this. Now that I've seen it, now that I've put it on, now we're changing it, change it, until you come to a final product.
I would say on average it's 3 prototypes.
Yeah.
So we're pretty good at what we do now. So I would say first proto's close, right? If we're like, we listen to the people Trevor's sitting here, like, we got him and Cole and some product. And I cannot, in all good consciousness, 1, because they're my friends, and 2, because I've been there, and 3, just because of the reputation of the brand. I can't put something on these guys and send them to Alaska and say, use it, it might work, but it also might compromise your hunt, and your clients. I can't do that.
Exactly.
So our first proto a lot of time is good, but then it's like, okay, tell me where you need the pockets. Tell me what you need the length to be. Tell me what you need the fit to be. By third proto, these guys are wearing it in front of the camera to film the marketing content, and then boom, it goes.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it takes, so all that takes a while because, in COVID, unfortunately, it shut down all the supply chains. We built a lot of stuff throughout Asia and Central America, and all those places were shut down, right? So that took even longer.
Yeah.
So that all had to be factored in. I'll just give you an idea. So we're sitting here summer of 2024, and I am through the second proto, so basically almost done with fall 2026.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
And kind of, it's probably hard to keep your mouth shut because you're I'm really excited about this product, and I can't talk about it.
Fed me a bunch of tequila and, like, Trevor tickled my feet, like I might give up some secrets.
Yeah, well, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah, but sometimes it's so hard to, like, keep track of everything, and I forget what year I'm in and all that. Like the product we're building with these guys, I'll say, that's going to launch fall 2025. But they've had, I don't know, 3 seasons, 3 seasons. This will be the 3rd season, right? Because bear season's 2 a year.
Yeah.
This will be the 3rd season that they've had it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and honestly, there's a little pressure because now I'm in 2027, and so you have to read the tea leaves, I like to say. Where's the industry going to be? Where's the consumer going to be? What technology is going to be out there to try to build stuff that far out?
So that leads me to another question, and I bounce around, right? So
go for it.
We're asking questions, and you bring another one to mind. When in your 10 years of doing this, have the tea leaves ever been way off? Have you ever launched a product and you're just like, dang it, I misread that?
I wouldn't say I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we misread it.
That's why you have the job.
But I will tell you, I think we've been ahead of our time on a bunch of stuff to where, there's expectations from a business standpoint. It's like, hey, we want to sell this much, or we need to make the money back of what we invested in this. And what's happening now, which is interesting, and I don't think the world's seen it yet, is some of those things I'm talking about, like a Kodiak jacket, just as an example. They're coming back around, and the reason is they kind of like got put on the shelf in the Indiana Jones movie, and it's like, but now's the time to bring it back, right? And so we're kind of dusting it off, we're updating it, a new technology, a new fit, whatever. And then bringing it back to market. But honestly, we're not off too terribly far. So, we just launched
that says a lot, in my opinion. We just launched a new
down jacket, down pant, and down sleeping bag, right? And so we were working on a sleeping bag. I wanted to make a down sleeping bag. I knew we were eventually going to get there because that's what a lot of people like, and they wanted it warmer than what we did. But I was never super comfortable with the technologies of the down because I go test everything myself first before I ever let anybody else do it.
We should give this a little bit of context, too, because prior to Sitka, and you can just give us a 5-minute whatever deal, there's a reason you're very picky about cold gear and how it functions.
Well, I would say the reason I am is not only because I'm an end user, but when I was teaching in the military towards the end of my career up in Alaska, Kodiak specifically, we were training guys to go to war, right? And so you can't screw around there. And people's lives literally are on the line, not only during that training, but as soon as they leave you, they might be in Afghanistan 6 months or a year from now, right? And so that gear that we built, it had to be uncompromising in performance. And that's why, for me, the perfect fit, the only fit at the time, was to work for Sitka because the conversation I had with Jonathan, it's like, that's a commitment we have as well. I'm like, perfect, because, I probably shouldn't do this, but I do. Every product that leaves that company now, hunt product, certainly back in the day, big game, but now everything, I feel like my name is personally on that product and my reputation. So it's like, man, if somebody gets hurt, if it doesn't work, I'm fine having conversations like, oh, I don't like that, and I have different preferences. That's cool. But if it causes you harm, if it fails, I take that really personally. Right? Well, that's all from the military where there was, the only thing that mattered was winning. And guys can't go in the field and come out early because they're wet, they're cold, they can't dry out. That's not an excuse. And so it's like, control what we can control, make the best stuff we can make. And so that was just in my DNA. And so that's kind of the way I still am, right? So I test everything. And I test, people ask, how do you become a field tester? And I would say, well, to test for me personally, it's like, I have to know you, I have to respect your opinion, because if I don't, then why would I want your opinion, right? So I test on just depending on the product and what it's for, just a couple. We test on more people, but for me personally, it's like trying to vet ideas. It's like just a couple people whose opinion I value. And it's like, okay, there's something here. It's not going to hurt. I know this guy can manage himself, but now we can take it to the broader mat. Like Randy Newberg is an example. He's like, man, I love this. Wow, how long has it been, in the making? And I tell him, and I said, but Randy, by the time you get it, it's vetted. I know it's not going to fail. I know you're going to have a good experience. I know you can be in front of a camera and not embarrass yourself or, compromise your hunt. So it's this multi-process kind of thing. And as you can imagine, as we grow, we have a guy now, All he does is manage field testing. So I work with him. He's got the whole list of people that test, and I'm like, yeah, like let's build 3 of these, 2 larges and an XL, get them on these people for this time of year.
That's awesome.
And that's so all that gets baked in the cake of why it takes so long, right?
Yeah.
Because if we didn't have to do that, if we didn't care, like I could probably crank something out in a year and a half, but maybe a T-shirt, that'd be fine. But if it's going to keep you alive on a moose hunt in Alaska, that's not cool.
Yeah, and I am. I've had gear failures in Alaska, and it's rough. But on top of that, when I was guiding full time, which I do not anymore, when I was guiding full time, the amount of failure we had with the client's gear led me to have multiple sets of gear, the important gear, the rain gear, the sleeping bag, as you mentioned. That I cannot tell you how important that sleeping bag is.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that. Of course, you and I are buddies. We talk quite a bit, and I've known you for a long time. But I respect how you work with Sitka on the gear. I use it religiously. Not only have they been a big part of Total Archery Challenge for all these years, but even prior to that, they're a big part of what I did hunting. And so that's why I wanted to ask you that question, because I knew the answer. But I think it's important that people understand that it's like, you're not just willy-nilly like, oh, that's cool, send it out the door. Like, there is some dedication in this to make sure the gear that you're putting out there is the gear that works. If you're sitting in a tree stand or whatever, or sitting in a blind, or if you're in Alaska, I called you a few years back. I had booked a hunt right before COVID. I'd booked a muskox hunt.
Oh, which we need to talk about off air.
Yeah, in Greenland.
Yeah.
But it was the winter hunt. And they're like, hey, be prepared for negative 40 degrees. So I was like, holy cow, okay, I know. I'm going to call Barklow. So I gave you a call, and I said, hey, I'm going to do this. They're talking this. You're like, you know what? I've sent multiple guys with this setup.
Yep.
I'm going to send it to you and make sure all the fitting's right, but I'll send you everything that you need. And it was everything I needed. And so that was the Blizzard setup.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was on the ocean's frozen. I'm on a 4-wheeler zipping down and fully kitted out, covered up 100%. The wind's blowing so hard on that ice that my 4-wheeler, as I'm driving forward, I'm kind of going sideways.
Wow.
No, it was insane. Just skidding across and they didn't have us chained up or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of blowing with it, and then you'd turn back into the wind for a while and blow with it. And but my point is that it was money.
You couldn't afford to have anything fail, though.
No,
the margin of error is so slim on something like that you just can't do that.
It'll ruin your hunt.
It'll ruin your hunt, and I think so. I'll speak for myself and a little more broadly for the product team or people on the product team, but like we actually go on those hunts, right? So like I'm on a 14, 15-day fly-in moose hunt. I'm the guy that did live on Kodiak. I've been in that tree stand suffering for 10 hours a day for the one opportunity to get a shot. So it's like, I trust everybody's opinion. I like to say I trust mine as well, right? So if it, like, I have to feel good about the product as well. But we put so much time and effort into these hunts, time away from family and all this money and everything. It's like, and that's just not even talking the money on the gear. It's like you need it to perform. And, just like your rifle or your bow or whatever else, it's like, it's got, you almost want to build it so well that people don't even think about it or give it a second
second not
thought,
a thought. I agree with you
exactly,
on that.
Exactly.
So we'll transition a little bit here. We're still going to talk a little bit of Sitka, but I want to know your favorite piece.
If you pin me down right now, top of mind, I would say the Ambient hoodie.
Okay.
That's one that I think has really began to change the way people dress and like it. So the Ambient hoodie is what I call active insulation. So you can put it on and you can move around, and when you're active, it's going to keep you warm, but it's also going to dump a bunch of heat. But it's also able to shed a little light precipitation and block a little wind, right? So it's got this broad spectrum of use. I whitetail hunt in it. I big game hunt in it. I hike and train and shoot attack in it, but
It's a quiet piece of fabric too.
It
I think
is.
it's worth
now,
noting.
interestingly enough, going back to the military, and I'm talking like probably 20 years ago, but we sat in a booth at the Outdoor Retailer Show. Might have been SHOT, and that's originally it was a Polartec product, and Polartec said, "Hey, we got this new insulation, blah blah blah," and we were building that. It was called Protective Combat Uniform at the time.
Uh-huh.
And so they introduced it to the military, to special operations, and we were the ones that actually bought it, put it in our system, and then they were able to commercialize it for the broader market from us adopting it in the military.
Oh, wow.
So then fast forwarding, and that's still a great insulation, we have a great partnership at Sitka with Primaloft, and we said, hey, can we make this insulation even better? And so we worked with Primaloft and came up with their insulation, their Primaloft active insulation, but I knew the value of that. But the hunting world didn't yet. And so I'm like, we've got to get this to market. So here's what I've learned. No human, at least that I've met, to include myself, nobody likes to be cold and wet. So if you can solve the two problems of keeping somebody warm and dry, they will know that. They will intuitively know that. They will pay for that, right? Because it's like, hey, this is going to keep you warm. This is going to keep you dry. If you can do those two things, you can focus, you can operate, you can get the job done, whatever that is. And so that ambient piece, I think, is one of those. This new down product we have coming out is pretty cool, but the Intercept pant, I don't know if you're familiar with the Intercept. It was an update to the Apex.
Yep, I have a pair of Intercepts.
It seems so, sometimes the best solutions are the ones that seem we'll call it the simplest or the easiest, but trying to find something, the Apex was great, but I was never happy with how durable it was. I wanted it more durable. Mm-hmm. Problem was I couldn't make it more durable and not make it louder. Yeah. And so this was like the archery hunter's like pant, right? It's got to be deadly quiet, spot and stalk and all that. And so finally we were able to update it and put a new knee pad and all that in it. So, that and an ambient are like always in my kit probably certainly for Western big game hunting.
Now on that ambient, you guys came out, there's different weights now.
There's different weights now, yep. So there's a 75, so that's kind of the lightest we make. And I to me that 75 is the replacement for any kind of heavyweight grid fleece you have anymore. Mm-hmm. The 100 is kind of like if you're going to pick one piece, it's like pick the 100 gram. Like I said, I killed my first Iowa whitetail wearing the prototype of that. Dudley actually posted the picture. It was real obvious because it had an orange liner, and nobody said anything. But the 100 is like the most versatile, and now we have a 200, and the 200 is for like, that waterfowl hunter who's going to, put something over it and lay in a layup line, or for the whitetail hunter who's going to walk into a stand wearing that and then layer over top of it when it gets really cold, right? So just trying to like, hey, this is a great thing. We think it can have a broader appeal, and so we make it into different product forms.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll tell you,
what's your favorite piece?
That I don't even know what it's called. It's the Merino lightweight hoodie.
Oh, the Core Merino 120.
Core Merino 120.
Yeah,
that is probably on me 95% of the days that I hunt.
Oh, yeah.
In Alaska, that's my piece.
Yep.
I love that piece. It's easy to layer on. I love the hoodie on it. And so that is my number one piece. And I'll wear the Merino this in Alaska for moose. I wear the Merino base layer and the dew point pant.
Oh yeah.
That's what I wear day in and day out. You can hike in it. You just unzip the rain pant. You can hike in it forever. And that Merino top is super lightweight.
It's not going to stink.
No, and it cuts wind. That little hoodie cuts enough wind that it's not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If you're too hot to have a beanie or your rain jacket hood on.
Yep.
So that's that.
And that was an update for us. That whole Merino program, like it was okay, and then we kind of updated it, not to get too wonky on you, right? But we had a Merino that had like a nylon core, and then it had the Merino on the outside, right? So the nylon would give it durability and all this kind of stuff and recoverability, so it wouldn't shrink in the wash.
Yeah.
And then the company we were working for out in New Zealand, they kind of flipped it. It's called Beta Spun. So now you have a Merino core, and then it's wrapped in like a nylon thread. So nylon's durable, right?
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, man, is it going to work? Is it like still going to be soft and quiet and stink-free and all that stuff that you love about merino? And it was. So that's what you're talking about now. So our merino program's as good as anything in the market as far as I'm concerned. And I was never like a big merino guy because, sometimes it would stretch and not recover. Or maybe it wasn't as durable as I wanted it to be. And now when people ask me, I'm like, hey, man, you know what? You can't make a bad choice. Synthetic wool, like picket. I'll normally, if I'm in a wet environment, like when I was in Kodiak or something, if I got that core lightweight synthetic wet, I knew it would dry super quick. Mm-hmm. But then I'd stink. And now this 120 merino that you like, it's going to dry quick. Mm-hmm. It's not going to stink. It's going to be almost as durable as a synthetic, right? So it's like there's really no wrong answer anymore.
For a good base layer, if you sweat a lot or if you're wearing your rain gear and you're moving, you're going to sweat. It
100%,
retains a lot of moisture. Yeah. That's the best top for me, in my opinion. And I'm hot. I am a hot hiker. Mm-hmm. Like I sweat quite a bit. So, but I will tell you, my next favorite piece for cold weather, and you guys have updated this, the I don't even know what it's called. I've had it so long. The giant puffy jacket. It's by far my favorite warm piece.
So it's called the Calvin Down Windstopper hoodie.
Yeah, well, that thing's awesome.
That just got replaced a day or two ago.
Yeah, just barely.
With what we're calling the Hyper Down jacket.
And I'm going to have to test that out. But that thing's in my pack in Alaska. Because really what we do, different people hunt moose different ways. But I hike to the top of this knob and I sit there from sun up to sundown. And it's cold and windy and rainy. And you throw that thing on. And I also have the lightweight down that I put under it.
Yep.
Because you're just sitting in the wind. Now, we do have a tarp that we sit under to stay out of the rain, of course. But we sit for a long time.
Yep.
Every day, the same spot. And that's been a favorite jacket of mine. I don't know. I've had that jacket for years. I don't even know how many years now. It's a long time.
We brought it out a couple years after I got there. So, it's been around a while. 8 years probably, for sure.
As soon as you guys launched it, I got it.
Yeah.
And I use it religiously. But that base layer is the Merino 120 is my go-to piece, if you will. Because I use it in September for elk. I'm using it for moose in Alaska.
100%.
I'm using it for late season November mule deer.
Yep.
Like, it's a great piece. And if it warms up enough, then you're good to go.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, it's year-round piece for sure.
What maybe you may or may not know this. What does the market say is the favorite piece Sitka has?
I don't know that.
I'd be interested to know, what is the piece that everybody's buying?
I can tell you based on, sales and things like that. So I would tell you if I had to pick the three, and I'll pick one from each category. How about that?
Perfect. Yeah, let's do that.
So for waterfowl hunting, it's absolutely the Hudson jacket and bib.
Hudson jacket.
Hudson jacket and bib is like the waterfowl hunter's armor. Mm-hmm. Like, they love that. It's crazy durable. It's got stretch panels in the back so they can shoulder their shotgun and make their calls and sit up out of the blind and set up deeks and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's the Hudson. For whitetail, I don't even have to think. It's Fanatic.
Yeah.
So the Fanatic, we've updated that once. Let me think. So it was there in 2015 when I got there, it launched. We updated it again in 19. Mm-hmm. Made it even more quiet. But there is literally nothing on the market that even comes close to that. So it's got this Berber fleece. It's got windstopper. It's got this cross zip, so you have this integrated hand pocket. It's got a bib. And I'll tell you, if there's anything wrong with the Fanatic, it's that people underestimate how warm it is. Yeah. And they try to walk to their tree stand. They're like, dude, it's so hot. I can't wear it. I sweat. And I'm like, yeah, it was built to keep you warm on stand during the rut to get that one shot at that, buck you've been working at for years. And then for big game, the Jetstream jacket and the Timberline pant, that combo for people that are, mid to late season rifle or heading north to hunt moose or bear or something like that, that combo of Jetstream jacket, Timberline pant, which again has been around even I owned that before I ever got to Sitka. Those pieces, they've been updated a little bit over the years, but for the big game hunter, that's their go-to, right?
Yeah.
So
I love the Jetstream jacket. And there's not a lot of pieces that I don't love, but it is interesting how I gravitate to these 3 or 4 pieces.
yeah.
And then it doesn't matter what season it is. I seem to always gravitate to these 3 or 4 pieces.
Yeah.
And then you'll throw in one piece of warm gear or something to go over the top.
Well,
or whatever.
just from an economic standpoint, in the last couple years, say, post-COVID, what was that, 22? So the last couple years. 22 to present, people they want more versatility. So they're going to buy one gun, one bow normally, right?
Yep.
Or this one gun works on this hunt, that one bow works on that hunt. But they want versatility in their clothing to do what you said. Hey, man, I put that Core Merino 120 on to start my season, and I'm wearing it at the end of the season, right? And like these 4 pieces, no matter what I'm doing, like they have enough versatility. So what that does is gives a lot of return on the investment, and then they can drop in a few specific pieces. Hey, I need this piece or 2 for waterfowl, this piece or 2 for whitetail. Depending on what you're a big game hunter like me. We live out west, so if you're going to go waterfowl hunt, you may need to add a couple pieces here.
Right.
Or if you've never whitetail hunted, add a couple pieces here. But it's not like you got to throw away all the other stuff and not use it.
Right.
I probably shouldn't say this, but so I told you I killed my Iowa buck wearing that ambient hoodie, that first proto. I killed my Montana buck last year wearing a Jetstream jacket in the whitetail pattern. Because to me, it's like, hey, I actually, no, it wasn't the whitetail. It was open country. It was a big game pattern. But I'm like, it's what I got. And mind you, I'm lucky enough to get
could have whatever you need.
Yeah, but I'm like, why? Like, this jacket is quiet enough. I know it. I love it. I know the performance of it. And, I've killed a bunch of whitetails wearing some big game product,
Yeah.
So it really starts to transcend. And that's what, if people begin to understand that, or as they begin to understand that, they're like, man, if I need 8 pieces to go do this, 5 of those pieces are going to transfer over to anything I do. And then I just, hey, I need a wader. Yes. Or, hey, I need a Fanatic jacket. It's like, yeah, okay, go buy that.
Yeah.
But it just, you get more ROI that way.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I mean, I also am fortunate enough that I have a few extra pieces of Sitka gear.
Yes, like me.
Yeah.
Well, like the Blizzard. Right?
Yeah.
That's a unique piece that not everybody needs.
Yeah.
Now, I've sold a lot of that to predator hunters who are like, hey, man, like I go out, I'm calling, I'm laying in the snow behind a gun, I can't move. I'm like, Blizzard. Like, I don't even have to think about it.
Yep.
Blizzard.
The whole setup. And I would tell anyone that hunts any cold season, that is the piece of gear. And
I don't think
you are
anybody
so comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, you literally lay down. It's like, when your mom dressed you up in the big snowsuit, right, and sent you out, and you just like laid on the top of the snow pile, and you're like, yeah, I'm not, as a kid, you're like, I'm not cold. That's what you feel like wearing a Blizzard system.
Yeah, it is fantastic. The new down system. Well, actually, I want to give a shout out to a piece of equipment you guys redid, the dew point.
Yeah.
You guys redid the dew point.
You have no idea how long that
took. Here's the thing. We had the dew point because we get rain gear for our crew every year for tack. Rain's on us everywhere we go. We need something that's durable for what we do, hiking around, kicking the brush, whatever. We had the old dew point, but we would shred those at the bottom by our boots, right? So then we went to the Storm Front, I think.
Yep.
That would have been a little bit heavier duty.
I call it the guide-worthy stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it was a little too heavy.
It was a little too heavy.
For what we were doing, because we're never sitting. It's like if we're wearing our rain gear, we're moving.
Yeah.
And then when the new dew point came out, which was just not even that long ago, 3, 4, or 5 years ago? I can't even remember.
Probably 3 or 4.
Yeah. The new dew point came out, and so I was like, hey, let's go back to the dew points. But the dew point's what I use in Alaska. Like I always take my Kodiak.
Yeah.
But if I'm running and gunning, I have that dew point jacket and the dew point pant, and I wear the dew point pant. That is my hunting pant in Alaska. That's what I wear. So whatever happened in that transition from old dew point to say, hey, we need to do this and make this better, you guys nailed it.
So wanted to make it more durable, right?
Yeah.
So the new dew point is 1.5 pounds for the set, jacket and pant, in a size large. 1.5 pounds, right? Rides around the bottom of your pack. You wear it in Alaska all the time. An elk hunter may have it and hopefully never use it, right? But they got it. But the reason I was laughing is something seemingly as simple as just updating the dew point took 3 years of trying to find the right Gore-Tex laminate that performed the way we wanted. And here's an added thing that a lot of people don't think about, that we could print and that the print looked good. And like all those things coming together just took a lot of time. And it was a little frustrating. You know, I got a proto set of dew point in baby blue. It's like powder blue. And I'm like, seriously? Like, how that, you know, I can't ask anybody to go hunting this, you know?
Protect.
Yeah, there you go. Now
baby, they've got some. They would do that.
Actually, it is. It's Protect Blue. That's the color. But you know, some of that early stuff you get from Asia, like you don't know what color you're going to get. Like I've had literally pink pants before. But it took a long time to figure that out. And so now that we got that figured out, we're trying to figure out something for, you know, this update to the guides and all that. But it takes a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it because we went from the dew point. Stormfront was a heavier.
It was heavy.
And
it was. I would say it was more durable, but it's heavy, and it was more expensive than dew point. It was heavy. It had overlays and all this kind of stuff, and
it is
big
not
bellowed
an
cargo
active
pockets.
gear.
It's not. It's for sitting on that knob for 15 days, and then moving. You know, the quarter mile to kill the bear, the moose, the whatever
it is.
You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the new dew point. If anybody out there is like, I had dew point years ago, the new dew point crushes.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's awesome. And that's all we use here now as a team is that new gear. And everybody is like, this is awesome. Like,
cool.
It works now.
Well,
so,
and you guys are, I mean, geez, oh man, you've been rained on a little bit this year.
Oh, every year. I swear no matter where we go, we get rain. So, but anyway, I just wanted to touch on that because that was one of those things where you guys said, hey, we recognize this. Let's work on it and make it better, but still keep it for what it was, which was a lightweight rain gear.
Lightweight.
So anyway, as we're kind of getting close to our time here, but I always like to know, I like to dive in a little bit. Title of our podcast, Life, It's Better with a Bow. So in that, there's 3 periods. Life, ... That's like your pause to kind of think about it. Life, oh yeah, it's better with a bow. I know you archery hunt. I know you rifle hunt. I do both myself.
Yeah, I don't rifle hunt anymore. I've
purely archery.
Yeah, for the last 20 years.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Not me.
Yeah.
I do both.
I have nothing against either. Yep.
So I love both. But why don't you share just a quick one with us on your favorite archery hunt and why life is better with your bow? I mean, it must be you switched 20 years ago and now you're bow only.
Yeah, well, life is better with the bow because, you know, that whole thing, Zen in the art of archery, being able to go out, not have the bang of the gun, being able to shoot in your yard or, you know, I shoot almost every day. Luckily, I've got property I can shoot on now, but there's a 24/7 access to a range in Bozeman, and I'd be there every day shooting in the morning, right? And it was just a calming effect, and like just the whole mental discipline of shooting a bow and all that was cool to me. And then it's not easy. Like the actual hunting aspect of it is not easy, and like trying to figure out like even working closely to trying to get good, let alone master shooting a bow. To me, it's this lifelong pursuit that, you know, I can learn about because it's mental control, it's calmness, it's, you know, I come home from work, I'm all spun up, I park in my barn, I grab my bow, even if it's inside at 20 yards, like I shoot even 6, 8, 10, 12 arrows, and I'm like, I'm better, and I can walk inside and now, you know, greet my wife and have that. But the reason that I'm so addicted to it from a hunting perspective is because as long as I'm alive and able to do it, I will be in the mountains chasing elk during the rut with a bow in my hand. Like, to me, awesome. That's like the pinnacle of of my hunting career and like expression of me as a hunter and, testing my skills, not just with myself or against myself, not just with the mountain, not just with this amazing animal, but like everything, right? And so I just love growing up in Ohio as a kid. Like I would dream about being in the Rocky Mountains, right?
Yeah.
And chasing bugling bulls. And so now I'm getting to live those dreams. And so I always try to like keep that perspective in mind. Like when I was 13 years old, I was infatuated with archery hunting. I've never lost that love. And I want to always make sure if I'm having a miserable hunt and not seeing anything or whatever the case may be, and I'm like, man, you're living your dreams. Like that little kid is still there and you've been living that, like, get over yourself. Like things could be worse, So yeah, to me, like life is better with the bow. And like the almost, I don't know how you would describe it. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but almost like this community that you built with TAC and like bringing all these people together. And like you mentioned, all these new people and then people from out of state, out of country. And seeing this grow over the years has been amazing because I'm not the only one. Like,
right.
There's a lot of people that feel that way, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many aspects of it that you can get into that it's, it's not just a compound. It could be trad. It could be a target. It could be hunting. It could be all these things,
Yeah.
And it's just all awesome. And, I don't know how many people come here and shoot these targets, maybe never hunt, but who cares? Like, they're having fun.
It doesn't matter. Yep, it doesn't matter. And I think when we decided to use that as our tagline, life, it's better with a bow.
Yeah, that's cool.
The intent was there is some mental process to it that makes life better, and going through those motions that you described earlier, like getting home late from work and you're frustrated and all it takes is 10 or 12 arrows for you to kind of get rid of that frustration and use it as a meditation, if you will.
Yep, exactly.
That was all part of it when we came up with all this 12 years ago, and so that's why I like to ask people, and it probably wouldn't amaze you that most people, when asked that question, in some form or another, come to that as their answer.
Yeah.
They love to hunt, maybe they don't, but they love the meditation side of shooting a bow.
And you can see it in people that are brand new to it, right?
Yes.
Like on the line today, some father walked up with his kid, and they had, I don't know, rented a bow or arrows or something. It's just like, and you see like that kid I talked about, right? Like there's the kid, but you can see the same kid coming out in the dad shooting with his kids.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, man, like they're hooked. Like they'll come back, and that's just as a little sidebar. The thing I appreciate the most, I think, about the TAC events is that they are not a competition.
Right.
Now, you can compete with your buddies or compete with yourself. But
and that's different, right? You have a totally different attitude when you're doing that.
There's no ego down here.
Yes.
It's just like everybody's just hanging out. It's like, hey, how many arrows you lose today? Or,
right.
hey, how'd you shoot that course? Or, hey, what about, target 17, the 117-yard bison or whatever,
Yeah.
So it's more of that community that I think is really, it's welcoming to people, and I don't think they feel intimidated to come and try it out.
They don't. There are so many new shooters over the last few years, new to archery, and I know you've seen it even with people you work with. You see these guys coming in that had never shot before that are new to archery, and it's life changing. I think it's different than new to firearms, like shooting a rifle or whatever.
Yeah.
I think what some of the key points you said, like you could do it in your garage, in your backyard, or whatever.
Yep.
And you don't have that anxiety-ridden bang of the rifle. There's outside of that. I mean, I love this community for one, because I've been a part of it since its inception, and I've grown to love it more and more. But the people you meet, I've met some of the most fantastic human beings that it's opened the door, and it is a great community. But I do want to thank you for what you've done in your contribution to the hunting community, and I'll include archery in that because you've been a big part of how things have happened with Sitka and Total Archery Challenge over the years, the 10 years.
Yeah.
But not just that, your dedication to making things better for the hunter or outdoorsman, because you do solids.
Yep.
So it's for the guy that just wants to go for a hike, making it better for us, because it's guys like you and a lot of people I don't think realize how much goes into it. I've been in the secret room there at Sitka before, where you got to sign all the documents and you can see what's coming down the pipe, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of work and the people that are involved and your passion, and I'm speaking specifically about you, your passion to make it better for me or any other hunter. I really appreciate that. I recognize it. And I think it's fair to let everyone else know that, hey, man, there are guys on our side. You're not in there just about the buck to turn the next greatest piece of gear.
No.
You're in there to turn the best piece of gear for the guy to have the best opportunity in the outdoors as possible.
Yep. If you do that, they'll come back.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you've been like that since I've known you. I love it, and I think people need to know it. Again, I know you got to get out here because you're speaking at the RMEF banquet, which, again, thank you for that. Another contribution to the hunting community for conservation, because you've done that a lot over the 10 years.
Yeah.
I've seen you at a lot.
It's just an enjoyable part of it.
It is, but it is a contribution. Like, you're taking your time out to do this, and people love to hear from the experts. And so thank you for that. And if you have any last words you want to let the people know, whether it's about Sitka or Barklow or just get out there and have a good time, let her rip, and then we'll close this thing out.
Yeah, no, I just appreciate the conversation, right? I mean, we've talked about this for a while. I would just say, come on out, try archery, try hunting. I just feel blessed. I am literally just living my childhood dreams.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Well, I appreciate you being here, and
Yeah,
hopefully
thanks,
we
Sean.
get you on again.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.